Did Elliot say what was wrong with Alex?
No, he didn't. He just told Dennis to get to the hospital immediately. Peter, I hope everything's all right.
I'm sort of surprised that Dennis would get a call, if there was some trouble. I was always under the impression that he and Alex didn't get along very well.
They didn't, till just recently.
What brought about the change?
Dennis found out that, Alex is his father.
What?
I know. I couldn't believe it when I heard it either.
Well, how long have you known?
Quite a while now, about 6 months. Dennis only found out the other night.
It's been quite a jolt.
It was. See, Iris hadn't told anybody for 25 years. She just assumed she'd never see Alex again.
25 years? Mm-hmm. I'm beginning to appreciate why you call her the Iron Butterfly.
So you see, Dennis would be very upset if Alex had a setback right now.
I imagine he would be.
I guess we just should be grateful that he's in a hospital where he can get some good care and treatment.
Yeah, that is fortunate.
Well, would you like to have some dinner?
I'm really very hungry. What I actually like right now is a nice stiff drink.
Oh, sure. Alan?
Scotch on the rocks with a splash.
Usual. Thank you. So, what have you been doing with yourself lately?
Not much. About you?
About the same.
Are you still staying in Alex Wheeler's executive suite?
No, I've moved back to the apartment. Dennis and I are back together again.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
No, it was so nice of Alex to let me stay at that suite, Peter. Knowing how Iris was opposed to the whole thing.
It was generous, huh?
It's one of the many wonderful things that Alex did for me. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
To Alex. May he recover quickly.
To Alex.
Perhaps Dr. Douglas could prescribe something for you.
No, I'll be all right. Alex and I... He loved the sea.
I know.
Did someone call you to come here?
No. No, I came to talk to Alex about Dennis.
Oh, he was so happy, Elliot. Having Dennis acknowledge him as his father.
If I'd allowed you to tell him months ago...
No. That's not what Alex wanted either.
Dennis's life and Alex's might have been quite different.
I don't think so. I think the fact of Dennis acknowledging it was what mattered to Alex.
I'm glad that Alex and his brother were reconciled.
Yes, that made him very happy, too.
He was happy, Iris. You can be grateful for that.
I know. It's just that there was so much left to do. So much we wanted to do together, to share.
Why don't I take you back to the house?
Grant will be here shortly.
Mom?
I ran into Grant on the way in.
We were looking forward to so many more years together. Oh, Dennis.
There's still some other people who have to be told.
I'll take care of it.
You're all I have.
There's something else I don't understand. If he's holding the Decker girl hostage, why is he taking her to a drive-in? He wouldn't want to be seen in public with her.
I don't know, Gus. Maybe
He was afraid to leave her alone in case she tried to escape. All I know is what I saw with my own 2 eyes.
I think you're imagining the whole thing, Jeannie.
I am not imagining the whole thing. Furthermore, I think we should call the police right now.
Don't do that, Jeannie.
If they're looking for that Decker girl, I think they ought to know that I spotted her.
I don't want a lot of cops crawling around my diner. You understand that? Besides, those 2 are probably miles away from here by now.
But Gus, that guy is a killer.
All right, I'll make you a deal. They show up again, then we'll think about calling the cops.
But what if he tries
If they show up again. In the meantime, if you want to keep your job here, you'll forget about the whole thing. Hustle that food out to them customers.
Slave driver. I think you are making a big mistake.
I'm not making a mistake. This guy got away with close to $1 million. I could do a whole lot with $1 million. Yes, sir. I think I'll start my own little manhunt.
You know, I think the money that you're after has only caused you a lot of trouble.
You can say that again.
It's hard to believe that Bernie got all of that from a shipment of cocaine. Well, where'd he get all those drugs anyway?
Why, you want to know?
It's just asking.
Got it from the people I work with.
And who's that?
Now, if I told you that, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
Why?
Because my boss makes sure that your life wasn't worth too much after that.
You mean that he'd ask you to kill me?
Hardly. Well, I figured he'd have us both rubbed out. Because I got what they want. They know it, too.
Joe, how'd you get mixed up with selling drugs, buying drugs and stuff anyway?
Well, I started dealing drugs when I was in high school.
How come?
Why does anyone do that sort of thing? For money.
What a terrible way to make money, though. Knowing what you're doing to other people's lives?
Well, there are all sorts of ways to mess up people's lives. I had an uncle. Worked in a tile factory in Bakersfield. Worked there for 20 years. But he had to retire when he was 45 because of an accident he had on the job. Faulty equipment. He died 5 years later. Those guys running the factory, and they were making a fortune. But you think they paid my aunt any money? Not on your life.
But those things happen. I mean, it isn't fair, but they happen, and that doesn't mean that what you're doing is right.
Yeah, well, that's easy for you to say.
I'm only saying it because I don't really think you're like that. Not deep down inside.
Sure. I got a heart of gold.
I don't believe that you would really hurt somebody. Not on purpose. You're much better than that.